welcome, guys. Thanks for joining me for an all-host episode here on this lovely evening. How's everybody doing tonight? We'll start with you, Reed.
Doing pretty good, man. It was a beautiful day today. It's been a nice couple days. And hopefully we're going to get some warm weather this weekend because it's been snowing, which is
what's up with that?
I know.
It's the worst.
And I talked to my dad about it too, and I was like, have you ever remembered snow in May? And he's like, never in my whole life. Which is just that's crazy.
I have a theory behind that. And I think it's because it's like there's not a lot of cars on the road. Not a lot of factories are open. Not a lot of that greenhouse stuff going into the atmosphere, which is kind of cooling the earth down a little bit.
Yeah.
My theory on this whole thing was the weather got really nice beginning of May. I noticed everyone starting to go outside and just starting to kind of not really care about the restrictions as much. And then it was like planet Earth was like, no,
screw you.
Stay inside.
Yeah. Same idea with the murder hornets, the planet is just like, no, you guys are not ready to go outside. Just stop what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it worked because everyone just went right back inside.
Went right back inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say though, even though it's snowing, I haven't found it that cold. So last year I was in Vancouver, around this time, and then I came back in May, and it was freezing, so cold. I couldn't even go outside without my jacket. Even when it snowed here, the last couple times it snowed, I was on a run, and it wasn't that cold. It was just snowy.
Yeah.
Do you think it was colder because you were in Vancouver where it was warmer?
Maybe, but I was full on wearing my winter jacket still, which I haven't touched in weeks.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Big polar vortex bringing all that cool air down from the Arctic.
Yeah.
But hopefully it does warm up soon, and we can get back to a bit more outdoor normal life, which it looks like it will be. We had phase 1 of Ontario's reopening plan announced today. So we got golf courses, driving ranges, a few retail opportunities, camping opening up. So which is exciting. So what are you guys looking forward to? Danny, what are you looking forward to getting back to this summer?
2 things or 3 things. Number 1, camping. I would really like to go camping. I think that really do a lot of other things. I think camping's a good one. No socially distanced there. Second is golf. Man, I'm ready to hit 10, 12, or however many it takes me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super nice at the golf course.
And I'm really forward to. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the going out on kayaking. Summer, I really want to take sailing. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit that hard. So the water camping and the links. So basically, all the outdoor stuff.
Good. That's awesome. Al, I know you golf. How often do you get out in the summer, and what are you looking forward to about getting back to that?
In the summer, I get out pretty much every single weekend. My dad likes to golf. My grandpa likes to golf. So we'll go to my grandparents live in Picton. So we'll go to the golf course out there. Nice. This year, once they lift some of the social distance measures as who you can be with, hopefully I can go see my family, my grandparents and stuff, and we can kind of continue those summertime traditions. But I'm also happy to just go out with my dad because my dad's in the same house as me. So hopefully we can just get out on the course and, do a couple 9s, 18s, that whole thing.
I hope so too. I think it's going to be pretty busy for a couple weeks. So you might have to fight for a tee time. But I'm excited. This looks like first step in getting life back to normal. So
Sure.
I know there's no restaurants, bars opening yet, so that might be in a couple months' time. But it's good. It's things are getting back to where we needed them to be, which is great for people.
Yeah, I think that the outside activities is really important for everyone. I'm still pretty mad at Reed because he's going to his cottage, which is not fair for the rest of us. But I do think getting outside is super important. Like, even if you're just in my backyard yesterday, I bought like a badminton volleyball net, and like ladder ball, which is where you like throw these balls at the poles.
Are
But
they on
even
the
that is
strings?
just fun.
Oh yeah, and they spin.
yeah.
They're like on a rope, right?
Yeah,
And the colors get you the score?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought those yesterday, and that's fun.
Where'd you get those?
Canadian Tire, actually. They weren't too expensive.
Oh, so you just have to scroll online to find what you like.
Well, Canadian Tire is open, so I just went in.
Oh,
It was a little bit terrifying. Like, it was kind of busy in there because I think they just opened, so there was a lot of people. But yeah, I found everything there, and it was all pretty cheap.
Reed, how about you, man? What are you looking forward to?
Well, as Elle pointed out, I am excited to go to my cottage.
Where is that?
It's past Sealy's Bay on Griffin Lake.
Nice.
So it's about 40 minutes away. So it's way out in the wilderness, like right on a lake. So it's sort of like my getaway spot, which would be nice. And it'll be nice to kind of be there and not have any fear, like have any worries about coming back into town, and having to go out to places and stuff, because I love just kind of camping out there. So it's sort of the ideal place to be. And I'm looking forward to, if the golf courses are open back up, like it's been like 10 years since I've actually tried golf, but maybe this is the time to do it, right?
yeah.
Might as well.
This is it.
Yeah. So it just some form of activity, So I've been trying to keep myself busy and stuff, but it'll be nice to kind of get out into wilderness and not be stuck in this apartment.
Absolutely.
By myself.
Maybe we should all book a tea time.
I love that.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah?
Like, is there any restrictions of like who you can play with?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
You
not
can
sure.
only play with like people from your household, and I think it's like a maximum of 5 too. Well, they might even be more strict on that number. I don't know if like your whole family of 5 could go at the same time. But
We all
yeah,
look
like
like
you're not
we're-
allowed to
it's
just.
like- We
Yeah.
all look like a family here. Like we're all cool, right?
That's right. We are.
I don't know about that, but still,
It's the Boyce family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boyce family.
What are you looking forward to, Leighton?
Oh man, just my family's got a cottage up just north
Next door to Reed.
no, close, just north of Sealy's Bay. Forget Chafee's Locks, near the Opinicon Resort.
Oh, okay.
My
Nice.
family's had property up there for a while, so it's nice to go up and just do that. But yeah, getting outside, going to the golf courses, and we actually bought a few kayaks a couple weeks ago. It hasn't been warm
Nice.
enough to use them, but looking forward to doing that. So just getting out and bringing a waterproof camera and taking some pictures of the shore from out on
Yep.
the canal. I think it'd be pretty cool. So looking
Nice.
forward to just, I don't know, definitely getting sick of trapped inside. I'm kind of an introvert sometimes when it comes, and I can be comfortable at home, but after 3 months of it, feeling the strain for sure, guys.
Yeah.
How are you guys-
Especially when most of my interactions, come from you guys,
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's just through camera, it's like I need some human, contact here, like
For sure.
actually see someone and talk to someone. And yeah, it's exciting for sure. What's that?
This is my social life. Like this
Yeah.
Let's be
is
clear.
what it is.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, I think this is like everyone's social life. It's all turned in. It's FaceTime. It's texting. Like, it's getting really old.
Yeah. Like the first time when I thought we're gonna be stuck at home, I was like, okay, cool. It's like I'll just play a bunch of video games. I'll be all right. And video games got old quick. I'm tired of
Yeah.
TV. I bought some books. It's like a lot of those things that I was like excited about at first, old news.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I bought a VR headset, which has been pretty fun.
Oh, cool.
But that also gets old really fast. It actually gets old because like you're only supposed to use it for like an hour or two, because you get really overstimulated and get like motion sickness and headaches. Like I think it was like a few weeks ago that I bought it, and I took it off after a couple hours, and I got really sick.
Oh,
Like I had to sit out for a little bit. Like it was a little much.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, that also kind of scares me because it's like we're already so like disconnected from reality. So doing something like a virtual reality, I feel like people could get so sucked into that like during these times. Like imagine
They're
you have
already
your whole
talking-
life online.
Yeah, but they're already talking about, sporting events, if they're coming back in a pandemic, turning it into a VR setting where like,
Yeah.
eventually you're going to be able to like wear the headset and buy a ticket and go to the game.
Oh, that's
See, that would
terrifying.
be like the thing is like with sports. Like, okay, there are certain sports that obviously you don't have to have that closeness. You know, baseball. I mean, I don't watch baseball, but you know what? For the sake of sports, I will watch baseball. I miss
If it comes to
sports.
it.
I miss sport. Like, I don't like. I'm not a sports guy. I don't watch sports. It's not like, oh, my team is playing, I gotta watch it. You know, no. You know. But right now, it's like, you know what? I could do some sports.
Oh,
I could definitely watch some sports right now.
You know what? So actually in this phase 1, there is, well, obviously like horse racing and I think dog racing, those kinds of stuff is coming back, those sports. But also tennis and badminton are also making a comeback. We are allowed to play tennis apparently. So that's fun.
Well, that is pretty social distance sport.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you playing with like max 4 people. So if you and your family wanted to go play tennis, like it's not
I
bad.
will watch tennis. I don't care. I just need teams and a ball or a puck or an object of something where points are scored and someone wins.
Points, yes.
Need a champion of some kind of anything.
We should play a foursome tennis, and we'll make up our own trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, made up.
You know,
The voice championship.
made up sport. Yes.
Have you guys ever played tennis? Man, that's hard. I can't. I'm
Oh, I
not
love
a tennis
tennis.
guy.
No.
We went to tennis camp a couple times when I was younger.
Did you really?
I went to all kinds of camps. I went to tennis camp,
That was
beach
on my
volleyball, skateboarding camp, circus camp.
Circus.
Circus
Circus camp.
That was fun. I
Okay,
did
we gotta
that
hear
for
this
2
clown.
years.
We got to hear this story. Tell us about circus
Yes,
camp.
please.
Okay, so I lived in Toronto. Oh, did I live there? I think I lived in Toronto at this point. I was in Toronto every single summer with my grandparents, and they would just like send us to a bunch of camps. So the last 2 years that I went to camp, I was at circus camp. It was just this place in Toronto, and they had like all the different trapeze. I was really good at like the like rope one. Clearly, I didn't learn much because I don't know all the technical terms. It was a lot of fun, and me and one of my best friends from school, we did it together. So we did all of our routines were together, and her dad was really into UFC fighting, so he would always give us his UFC t-shirts, and we would like be whoever he told us to be, and we would like go and do our like routines together. It was a lot of fun.
It's cool.
Mhm.
That's crazy. I've never heard of circus camp. That's
Wow. So you guys just learned like trapezing and stuff?
Yeah,
have
well,
heard of
you could
circus
do all
camp,
kinds of
but
stuff.
I like, to me, I think, do you learn how to be a clown? Do you learn how to be a lion tamer?
That's what I was picturing. Like
There was
she's
a
feeding
couple of
elephants.
our counselors were clowns. Like they would go out, like they would walk on the big ball and like things like that. But you kind of got to pick, like you got to try everything, and then you just like picked whatever you liked the most. So like I did trapeze and like the rope stuff, and that was
And-
like what I did. Other people did where they could like actually balance and walk on the ball. There's like the circular trapeze, that was really fun. A couple people did like their tightrope walking and things like that. So
Wow. That's
yeah.
that's cool. I've never.
Well, you know what's, it's crazy because it's like I go to the buskers every year, right? And there are some like I guess you could call them like circus type acts, you know, where like there's balancing or like juggling or whatever. And it's like, to me, I was like, oh man, where do people like learn how to do that? You know, I guess
Circus camp.
answer solved, question solved.
Yeah. When they have a couple things like that in Kingston too. Nikki, our old HR manager, she actually told me about a couple of things where they do that kind of stuff. Like there's a ribbon one, there's a trapeze one, they're different, like acrobatics is what it's called. So you can actually still take classes in it. Might not be.
Yeah,
super
there's a place
focused.
in Kingston on Midland actually that does, I don't know what it's something circus performers or something like that. But yeah, I know that there is a place here in Kingston on Midland that does it.
Yeah. Well, and think how many times does Cirque du Soleil come to Kingston? Like,
At least
there's
once a year, I think.
They come like every single year they're here. So it's like people in Kingston get really into it. And it's cool.
I've never even known that Cirque du Soleil comes here. That is
Really?
great.
It goes to the
What?
K-Rock. Did you not?
Yeah.
hear of the K-Rock?
I am gonna go the minute that everything opens back up. That's crazy. I am living under a rock when it comes to Cirque du Soleil, I guess.
You definitely should go.
And
It's
circus
amazing.
related anything, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely fun.
Oh man. So how was everyone's end of semester? Like how did that all finish up for you guys?
Good. Transitioning to the online kind of virtual learning, not my forte. I like to be in the classroom where I can be with the teacher and friends and collaborate, classmates and collaborate. I didn't love it, but it looks like what we're going to have to do moving forward, at least for the fall semester, perhaps. And yeah, I'll turn that around. How are you guys doing? You're graduating. You're about to enter the workforce. What are some concerns that you guys have moving forward?
I mean, what concerns don't I have?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's sort of like it's. I think it's going back to that what you kind of just stated, like being in the classroom. I like going to an office and being with a team of staff, you know, and like having that camaraderie and like sort of that, you know, boost of team morale and everything, you know. I would find that hard to go into a new environment on an online platform where you don't really know anybody, and you're kind of, you know, working from home. I don't do well online, whether it's learning from the classroom or doing work from home. Like it's just not something that I'm very good at. I do need people that give me energy to be able to keep me motivated. So that's something that is my biggest concern. And it looks like in terms of like going out for work right now, I'm not really looking at advertising right now. And I think like that sucks, right? Because you know, I just graduated from advertising and marketing, and you know that it would ideally that's something that I would be liking to be doing, but I think that would have to be something with in my own projects. If I were to go back to work, it would probably, you know, doing Uber deliveries or going to work on the farm on Wolf Island that I worked at before all this. So, but you know, it's a job is a job the way I see it. You know, money's money, and you know, as long as I can get some hours in doing something, I'm happy.
Mhm.
And you thankfully for CERB, I've been able to, you know, have a little bit of income in my pocket.
Yeah, for sure.
Good. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see the shifts,
Yeah.
like once these different phases go through, getting people back to work and getting people jobs and all that kind of stuff is definitely, it'll be interested to see how the government approaches that, because it's going to be really difficult for
Absolutely.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Danny, how about you, man?
No, I'm in the same boat as Reed. Like I'm not a good do it at home person, you know, like I don't have that kind of discipline. I've always I've either had a job where I go to work and I do what I need to do, or go to school and do what I need to do, and that's it, you know, like so working from home, you know, like I've always liked to separate my home and work life. So like working from home, like I feel like home is home. Home is where I do home stuff, you know, I play video games, I hang out with the fam, you know, or, you know, I'll cook, I'll do whatever it is, but home, you
Mhm.
know, it's like work is, that for me, it's reserved for being at work. So now that we've graduated and, you know, entering the workforce, I don't know. I don't know how things are going to be, because the one thing that COVID has taught us, and self-isolation and quarantine or whatever it is that we are, is it's taught us that there is a lot of work from home to be had,
Yeah.
you know, that like almost everybody, especially in this industry, could probably work from home, you know, with minimal office hours. So like, I'm honestly scared a little bit about that, because I do want to go to work. I want to go to the office. I want to see people. I want to talk to people. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. And, you know, hopefully there's a good balance of the work at work and the work at home balance, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so a question for you guys too. So as someone who, now that we know that there is a bit of a plan for the fall semester, so what does the 20 to 25% of students be able to go to campus? Who does that apply to, and what is that going to look like? Like, can you guys kind of summarize what the plan is?
Yeah, sure, I can. So the 20 to 25% of students is basically students where it's somewhat of a necessity to be on campus. So you're looking at all of the kind of health services, so like nursing, pre-health, all of those. So, and then as well as kind of like lab programs. So people like like vet techs and things like that, like people who actually physically need to do lab work.
Right.
So the college is still kind of going through the list just of each program to see which one specifically will be on campus. Partially, no one's going to be fully on campus, even those programs will have some of their classrooms still virtually.
Right.
The ones that don't have labs included, there's no reason to be on campus. So there'll still be screenings when everyone enters the buildings, just kind of same kind of screenings as if you went to like the hospital or prisons, like that kind of thing.
Right.
And then like obviously health centers is open right now, and there'll still be like services that are available to students. It's just determining which services those are going to be kind of moving forward.
Mhm.
But that's about all we know for now. There'll be more information coming out.
Yeah. So that was going to be kind of my next question. Like, do you guys have any idea of like how online classes are going to be delivered? Like how it's going to be a little different from this past semester? Is there any kind of new kind of thing that we don't know about, or?
Not that I know of. It's definitely program specific.
Yeah.
So I know like I sit on my past programs because I graduated. So on the business and marketing, I sit on that PAC committee for planning, and we have a meeting coming up in June to kind of like answer some of those questions. Like what is it going to look like? How do we want to like introduce lectures and assignments and things like that? Because I know in our programs, it's really hands-on. Like we do a lot of presentations, and it's like half of it is doing things in class and meeting face-to-face with people. So that'll be really, really program specific. And I know that all the faculty are working really, really hard on that.
Yeah, it's definitely something to look forward to, see what kind of comes out of it. And as a paying customer, I'm kind of anxious to see what the rollout looks like. I know that the value added still has to be there for paying students. Are people still going to be willing to pay thousands of dollars to kind of learn from home on their own without physically being in the classroom? I don't think you're going to get the same reception that you will from the general student kind of outlook, and it'll be interesting to kind of see what enrollment numbers look like as well. It might be a great year to take a year off school.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I know that like there's schools that are like online or cheaper than like actually going to like physically sit in the classroom. So I guess if their option is there, it's like why pay that much money to get the same experience, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and I mean it's definitely fair points. Like it'll be really, really interesting to see because like Leighton says, 100% they have to make sure that the same value is there as before. So
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
see how they handle that. But you never know.
Yeah, and so there's no plans to cut back on tuition or anything as of now?
They haven't said anything up to this point. There will be some changes like in ancillary fees. Like a lot of those will get refunded or partially refunded depending on the availability of those services. So that's kind of already been spoken to where like there will be some money that's returned to students and like from this past semester too. But they haven't said anything about the actual cost of tuition.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see for sure. Looking forward to it. Yeah, they got to do something. So it'll be interesting to kind of see from our roles on the Student Association that kind of behind the scenes. I know Elle and myself, that's pretty much what our whole summer job will focus on is delivering value to students with our events and our deliverables. So yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see how it all folds out.
Yeah, definitely interesting times.
VR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, are you guys able to say, like, do you guys have any inkling on what kind of events you guys want to run if everything goes online next year?
Oh, yeah, you can run a few events. Like, you can get people on virtual conferences with, like, motivational speakers and that kind of stuff was one of our ideas. But it'll be interesting to see what we are able to do. Depends on how many people can be at the school and how many are allowed in one common room for a presentation or whatever you want to say at the same call it. But yeah, a lot of virtual stuff. So
yeah, lots of fun things. It'll be a lot of it'll be posted on our social media and things like that. We're thinking about reaching out to some bands to do some online concerts for us and a lot of like virtual kind of
cool
events like that.
There you go.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
I think maybe we can start to wrap that up. I know it's about dinner time. Thanks, guys, for your time today. It was kind of cool to hear you two guys talk about what you're anxious and what you're looking forward to. And Elle, you kind of share some of my insights. Same kind of thinking with what the future looks like for the fall semester. So, good chat, guys. I appreciate your time as always, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
it's good to see
Yeah,
you guys.
see you guys next week.